Hi everyone, welcome back to Monthly Recap. It is also the perfect place for me to share with you some of my favorite top viewer comments from the previous month. And let's jump in. We have passed 2 million subscribers, which I'm still kind of wrapping my head around. And in today's video, I want to go over all of the crazy headlines from this month. Because there are so many things going on right now. The government shutdown, BlackRock, warning about stagflation. Inflation is getting worse. Bitcoin is at a critical level. We have more big banks collapsing. And we will kick off with the United States government shutting down. They were able to get a deal together just in time before the deadline. But this should really tell you something about how dysfunctional our system is. The country was on the brink of collapse. This could have led to a major recession or even depression. But let's move over to the financial news. BlackRock is warning about stagflation, and they believe that we're entering into a new regime. Growth is going to be lower, and inflation is going to stay higher. So what does this mean for you? Well, cash is going to be trash. Speaking of inflation, it is getting worse. You can see here that inflation expectations are spiking. What this means is that inflation is starting to get embedded in our economy. So now let's look at what Jerome Powell had to say this month. And this is a chart that shows us the path of interest rates. And this is definitely good news for anybody who is holding a GIC or a treasury bond because those yields are locked in. Now let's take a look at the debt ceiling, because that is still a huge problem. They've been fighting about this for months and months. Yellen says that they might run out of money by October. That means that they need to come to an agreement very soon. But personally, I think this is all political theater. All right, now let's take a look at the banking sector. Even though they have absolutely nothing to do with these banks, they're all falling. You can see that shares are hitting multi-year lows. This is telling us that people have very little faith in the banking system right now. And this is why people are rushing to get their money out. This is why we saw so many bank runs throughout this year. Speaking of bank runs, credit unions are seeing a massive surge in deposits. They want it at a credit union because it's safer. Deposit growth is 30% higher than normal. This is a major shift in the banking industry. And if you remember earlier this month, I made a video where I talked about all of the weird things that are happening right now in the world of finance. There's so many things that are unfolding right now that make absolutely no sense. And I go through all of those in that video. So if you haven't already seen it, make sure you check it out. All right, now let's take a look at the markets. As you can see, the S&P 500 continues to grind higher. We are at all-time highs right now. This is what a bull market looks like. This is what the bull market rally looks like. However, keep in mind that usually the best days in the stock market happen during a bear market. So if you miss the bottom, you can still potentially make a lot of money by buying now. Speaking of buying, Black Friday is coming up and Cyber Monday. I wanted to give you a heads up that I have partnered up with Nordvent to offer you guys an exclusive deal. Most people don't know this, but their S is actually a special feature inside of Google Chrome that allows you to virtually change your location by changing your IP address. This means that you can access deals that are only available in other countries, and you can save a ton of money. So basically, you can use a VPN to access better deals. And right now, Nordvent is offering 75% off and an additional 4 months free with every 2-year plan. And if you're not happy for any reason, you can get a full refund within 30 days. All you have to do is click the link below and use code ROMAN. Okay, now let's get back to the news. So Bitcoin is at a critical level. The price of Bitcoin is hovering above $30,000. And some analysts say that this is a crucial support level. Now, speaking of Bitcoin, MicroStrategy has bought another 240 Bitcoins. They spent almost $10 million to buy these Bitcoins. This brings their total up to over 160,000. And they continue to buy the dip every single month. And finally, in the world of finance, China has launched a new world reserve currency. Now, I'm not sure how seriously you should take this, but it is worth mentioning because it is getting a lot of traction in the news. This is called the Lansing. It's basically a basket of currencies between China, Russia, and other BRICS nations. And the goal is to reduce dependence on the dollar. It's basically trying to compete against the US dollar. And this is a very, very big deal. So basically, people are spending a lot of money, but businesses aren't investing as much. This is a bit concerning. Okay, now let's move over to real estate. The housing market has entered a state of limbo. And the reason for this is simple. Mortgage rates are way too high right now. They're sitting at 7.4%. This is why both home sales and refinancings are plunging. Now, the good thing about this is that if you're able to lock in a low mortgage rate, it's a great deal. But for everybody else, this is not good news. All right, now let's move over to gold and silver. Gold had its biggest monthly gain in almost 2 years. It went up 7%. And the reason for this is simple. Now, personally, I don't see this as anything but temporary. And now, for the top viewer comments section. This is the fun part of the video where I get to share with you guys my favorite comments from the past month. And first, we'll start off with the comment from X. After watching your videos, I realized I am really ignorant about finances and economics. Your videos have helped me become more financially literate. Thank you. If I was able to help you in any way, shape, or form, then my job is done. So thank you for leaving this comment. Hi, Roman. I always love hearing about your day. Glad to hear you're enjoying life. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. It's nice to hear that you enjoy the vlog. I'm having way too much fun right now. It feels like I'm on a permanent vacation. Moving on, we have a comment from Jester. 1,000 years ago, a person might die from plague, famine, or war. Today, the leading causes of death are heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Humans have progressed. Yes, we have progressed. But we have also regressed. We're living longer, but we're also dumber. Look at how many people are addicted to social media. Look at how many people are obese. I mean, yeah, we have progressed in some areas, but we have also regressed in others. I'm glad that we're living longer. But when you look at everything else, I'm not sure that we have truly progressed. Moving on, we'll look at a comment from Peter Pan. Thanks for the great content, Roman. What would be your suggestion for building wealth? Hey, thank you for watching. My suggestion for building wealth is simple. Spend less than you earn. Save that extra money and then invest it into the markets over the long term. This is how you build generational wealth. And finally, we'll end off with a comment from Staples. Love your videos. Question: how do you manage to learn so much? How many hours a day do you study? Hey, thank you for watching. I try my best to learn as much as I can, but I wouldn't say that I'm studying all of the time. I'm simply curious about the world. I ask a lot of questions. I read books and I watch other educational content. Really? It's just about staying curious and being observant. Well, that wraps up this month's monthly recap. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed all of these comments. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And ILL. See you guys in the next video.